Hey guys, RW here, wrapping it up for the night. Me and Venus been hanging out in the shop, and I've rebuilt my Virginia Creeper yet again, one more time. But I just wanted to show you something. This is a something you can get from RC Crawler forums from a guy Buddha Train. He has a company called Screw Loose, and he sells metric hardware. So for like 30, I think it's like 35 bucks, something like that, you can get a pretty good assortment. Not everything, but a pretty good assortment to get started. So I invested in that when I was doing a chassis for a client. So it's kind of handy to have. I just thought I'd point that out to you guys. Screw Loose. As you work on RCs, you tend to accumulate things, and it's nice to have one of these little Plano boxes to carry your stuff around when you want to go places, because stuff breaks and you'll want to repair it. What I did was I rebuilt my front axle, and there's really no need to go into all the details of that, but one of the things that I like to do is waterproof my vehicle so I can run them in the muck and the rain and stuff like that. But what I haven't been doing, which I should have been doing, was spraying everything with silicone. I'm trying this out. Found this over at the Tractor Supply today. And I usually just use simple green, and I wash everything off. But then what I really need to do is totally break it down, dry everything, then lubricate it, which is what I did this time. I finally did the right thing by my vehicle. I actually maintained it. But for $9 you can basically replace the axle housing. The gearbox you never have to mess with. It's pretty much bulletproof, especially once you put the metal gears in it. And it's just nice. That's one of the nice things about the RedCat, is that it's relatively cheap. My chassis is not much to look at. It's kind of ugly, but it works really good. What I did was I put some links on. I had made these links for Bully 2 axles. These are aluminums. These are just my templates so that I would be able to replicate bends. But since I haven't had any real call to make more Bully 2 axles lately for the double agent chassis, I decided to just go ahead and put them on there. And that stretched my wheelbase out just a little bit. It got my links way up out of the way. Allowed me to do a little bit different shock angle in the back, change the upper a little bit, and what I've accomplished is I've gotten pretty much no bind at all. This is a Vorza Basher shell for like an HPI Vorza Flux. It's a real weird shell to put on like a RedCat RS10 crawler, but it works really well. I was surprised how well it works. Just wanted to show you how much. You know, that's a lot of articulation there. Okay, probably too much, really, but it doesn't bind up anywhere. And you can see how the shocks clear the body real nice there. You can really twist it up without any issues with it binding on the body, making any of that guitaring sound that you hear of springs against Lexan. So it's got a nice fluid motion, which is what I like. That's why it's the Creeper. To show you what I've done, I wanted to explain a couple of quick mods here. Not going to take all day doing this, all night, whatever. It's already the morning. So you can take the stock plastic bits that are on your RedCat, and you can nip off the hex. These are the hex-shaped links, right? Take a hacksaw, cut it off, leaving enough to push that plastic mount down on it, and now you've got a shock on axle mount that didn't cost anything, and it works really well. I have been extremely abusive to this vehicle. This vehicle has fallen like 12, 15 feet out of the air and hit the ground many times playing around, and it's just a real cheap, easy way to get your shocks on your axle and have them in such a way that you get, these are very wide tires, so I'm getting some tire rub, but not much. Just want to show you how I did my links, show you a cat butt. Attack of the cat, man. She's really feral. It's a pain in my ass is what she is. So, kind of simple in the back to see what's going on. For shock on axle in the back, it's real simple. You just need one of the small spacers that comes with the race shocks, and you can just put it right beside your link in the back. If you do that in the front, what happens is the shock is actually in kind of a bad place for where the tire is going to rub. It's going to be more back and more there. I kind of liked it right there. It seems to work really well for what I'm doing. And as you can see, I've got plenty of clearance. So, very nice. Alright, that's it on the rebuilt creeper. I want to thank my friend Spitz for giving me this Vorza Basher by. Gave the vehicle a new look, gave me something to play with, something to think about. This, by the way, is a pretty decent servo. I'm impressed. It's a $26 servo. It's a Solar D722, I think. Anyway, over 400 ounces of torque, runs at 7.4 volts. So I've got it wired up to my BEC and stuff, which you probably can't see. But basically, I've got my electronics package pushed all the way to the back, so I have room to put a battery right there on the battery tray. It's a lot of fun getting at it. But you can. Put the battery right there on the battery tray. Electronics back here. Everything's waterproofed. It's been tested very thoroughly as far as waterproofing goes. Oh, another little ProCat tip which I wanted to share with you guys is when your foams get wet, and they will, even if your tires are sealed, eventually somehow water gets in there, get your foams wet. What you need to do is you wash them, get them clean, then squeeze them out just like a sponge, get all the water out of them, put them in your dryer and run them with air only, no heat. And in about 45 minutes your foams will be dry. If you just let them sit out in the air, they never get dry. I've tried it. I've put them on a fan, I've had them hanging up on sticks, everything. They just feel damp forever. Just wanted to show these shaved rovers off. What I found out about these HB rovers is the more worn down they get, the better they work. These are pretty worn down from several months of crawling the rocks and whatnot. They're starting to work better and better. Got medium memory foams in the back and big memory foams, soft, big, soft, medium. These are smaller, these are bigger. So it kind of looks a little weird because this tire is shorter, this tire is taller, but it actually works really good that way. I've got my axle clocked back in the front. I don't know if you can see this, but see how the axle is clocked back? What that does is when you turn, because you can't rotate the knuckles on this independently like you can on some axles, so you have to rotate the whole axle back. And that puts your motor down a little bit lower, but it's not a real problem because of the way I've got the vehicle set up, the stance of it and everything. In the back, I've got this jacked up. That's to clear this spring, really, more than anything else. Just to make it get by the spring and the links and everything. It does put the weight a little higher, but I don't think it really hurts anything. But in the back, by having it tilted back, what it does is it gives you a better attack with your tires when you're going up. When you want to grab something or when you want to muscle around, elbow yourself up using the edges of your tires, that's when you want your knuckles clocked back. Caster, they call it. Not a whole lot of adjustments you can make with the axles in those terms. In the back I'm locked out. I'm using little pieces of copper pipe to lock it out because I don't really like the rear steer that much. And I just wanted to wrap up with a big thank you to my subscriber that sent me this camera so you guys could hear my voice again and I could just yak, 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 yak. So I wanted to give it a run, test out the camera, show you Venus the cat. She's back. The cat is back. Yeah, kind of a pain in the butt, as you can see. Oh yeah. Alright guys, if you like this sort of thing, subscribe to my channel. Support Mountain Storm with your orders for custom made acrylic wares. I also make shotgun reloading tools, and of course I build badass RCs. Thanks a lot for watching.